Hey, howdy, hey, hope you're having a fabulous day. Today is Thursday, January 31st, 2019. Holy cow, cannot believe it's the last day of January. So today I want to show you our many marvelous markers. They're called our Stampin' Right markers, and they have two tips, a brush tip on one end and then a fine tip on the other. And you can see the fine tip, it's great for like writing or if you want to do little detail color work. And then our brush tip, you can also do great lettering with it, but it's also fabulous for coloring. The markers are sold in sets of 10 in our catalog, or you can buy them, I'm going to pull out a little bit, all 51 colors plus black, basic black, and get this great carrying case, and it has the side description of what the markers are. We also have in-color markers each year, pardon my arm. And there's 5 new in colors a year. So these are the 2018-2020 in colors, which I love. And then also the 2017-2019, which retire after this catalog is expired. So these are ones you want to get for sure if you don't have them. Now I have a marker club, which I'll talk about at the end of this video that you can join. But right now I want to show you some things you can do with it. So you can obviously, on making your cards, you can use our great ink pads to do that. And they open like a compact and then slide in and snap in place, and then you pull them out and they just store like that. But sometimes you don't have all the colors, or you want all the colors and can't get them. So I'm going to show you first on the ink pad on stamping like a background. So ink pads are obviously very convenient because the ink is all there if you're doing solid images. And I'm using the stamp set from the Celebration catalog, which is right here, and it's the Hello Cupcake. Super duper cute set. This is free if you want to pick it. There's a lot of celebration items, but with a $50 purchase, and it's one of my favorites. So I already put the 2 flower stamps on a block, and I know this block is overkill, but this is the size most of you have for paper pumpkin. And you can order smaller blocks or use our Stamparatus. So when you ink up the stamp, especially when using a big block, you just want to barely pat down on the ink. You don't want to squish it. There's no squishing needed. And I enjoy stamping off a little. And if you get some on the clear block, I would clear it off, clean it off before you stamp on your cardstock, otherwise you'll pick up a line. So I'm not stamping the middle of this because I know that I'm going to put this paper here. So that's how you use our ink pads. And again, you pull it towards you, slide it, flip it over, and then it snaps in place. So that's how those work. Now on the markers, and this thing here, I know it looks nasty, but it's fabulous. I love our Stampin' Scrubs, especially on red rubber, but on the photopolymer, I really like these shams. And they're great to use on the Stamparatus because you can take them off and really clean where you need to clean. After you clean off your stamps, I strongly recommend putting them back on the clear plastic so that you don't lose them, since they themselves are clear. Now this paper I already pre-cut, and the gingham has 2 sides, and it is beautiful, beautiful. This is available in our catalog, and this is the new catalog. This is the Occasions catalog, and you'll see it here. It's 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 40 sheets total, and there's some great colors with that. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is the triple banner punch. This punch is actually really cool. I'm getting addicted to it. I got it and didn't use it, but it notches your cardstock. You just cut it the width of it. The widest one is 2 inches, makes great bookmarks. Then you just slide it in and then punch down, and this is what you come up with. So I started coloring on this side, and then I smeared it and stamped on it, and I decided I'm going to do on the flip side. So if you make a mistake, there's always 2 sides to the paper. And we are going to start by laying this down on my workspace, and I'm going to start with the base of the cupcake. So let's say that you don't have many marker colors, or you only have ink pads, and you really would like to have all the colors. Our markers are a great way to go. So this is, they call it like huffing technique. You can color on the side of using the side of your brush tip and color your entire image. This obviously takes a lot longer to do. However, if you're just in a pinch for a color, it is a great option. The next technique I'll show on the icing, you'll understand why this is really cool. All right, so I'm going to huff on this. and that's to moisten the ink because it is water-based ink we're working with. And I'm going to scoot him to the left just a skosh and up a baby step and stamp, push straight down and lift straight up. So there's my cupcake base. And then I cleaned off the wrapping paper, the cupcake wrapper. I'm going to put it back on here. The next piece I'm going to take is like the cake batter part. And on this one here, I'm going to use a yellow, and I already pulled out Daffodil Delight. And we have lots of great light color options, like numerous shades and hues of every single one of the colors of the rainbow. So it is really fun if you like colors. All right, I'm going to huff on this. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's the slightly jagged edge of this. And I'm going to line it up with the top of my cupcake wrapper that I just already stamped. And I'm going to stamp straight down and lift straight up. So there's my cake batter. Now the next one of the things that's really, really cool, and we're going to do a monochromatic like icing effect. So when you're coloring multiple colors on the same image, you want to start with your lighter color first, because if you accidentally pick up any of the other colors, it'll usually blend with the darker colors, but the lighter color, you have to work at it to get it out of the marker. So I'm starting with my first color, which is Highland Heather, and this is the lightest of the purples. And I'm using the side of the marker, and I'm going to color this entire top part of this. And I'm going to go back over it to make sure I have all those edges because I sometimes miss them. Now I colored down further than I want the Highland to show because I want to blend it with the next color, which is Gorgeous Grape, so that they're slightly overlapped. So now I'm doing the Gorgeous Grape on the middle-ish part of the icing. And go down there. Then the last color I'm adding is Blackberry Bliss. Now the Blackberry Bliss is a little bit darker and maybe a little bit more red in it than the other two, but I'm going to blend it here and just to give it 3 levels of color. So you can see how that looks. I huffed on it to warm it up and moisten it, and then I'm going to line the bottom curve of the cupcake with the top curve of the cake itself, the icing, I'm sorry. And see how I have to adjust it a little bit so it all shows up because I didn't stamp my batter far enough over. So you push straight down, lift straight up, and see how it has the monochromatic color going like darker to lighter. So that's kind of fun. So if I don't like that right there, I can actually color that in a little bit if I want. So Blackberry Bliss was my last color. So I might just add just a little bit more darkening here to kind of fix that edge. And that's something that you cannot do with a stamp pad. So I kind of filled that in. And then over here, do you see how that's like a little gappy there? I'm going to fill that in over here too. And if you don't feel comfortable using the brush tip, you can use the narrow tip. But I was brave today. So there we go. So that's how I did that monochromatic theme on it. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to stamp, let's see what I want to stamp on the words. Let's do Celebrate Your Day. Okay? So I'm going to put this on, I don't think I'm going to use my sprinkles today. I'm going to put Celebrate Your Day on here. And I want to do it with the Blackberry Bliss on the on this, but I only want the Celebrate on top and then Your Day on the bottom. So if you wanted to do like every letter of the word different, you could color each one different, but I'm going to do Celebrate first. And the reason why I'm not coloring the bottom word is because I don't want it to stamp on my cupcake icing. So I'm doing the Celebrate, and I'm sorry this is a little bit boring to watch me do this part of it, but you'll get the point. And then again, if I miss anything once I stamp it, I can use the marker to go in and fill it out. All right, so I'm going to huff on this and then line it up with the top of my page, top of my little banner, and straight down and lift up. So there's my Celebrate. Now I want to do the bottom, but I'm going to have to clean the stamp off first. So I'm doing it, rubbing it on the wet scrub. And here's something about this that's cool. See how I've got that there? I can kind of go in and dig out the ink if I need to. And then I'm actually going to blot it on the paper to make sure I have no ink on there because I don't want to accidentally have like shadow celebrate on that. Now I'm going to color the bottom part of it, which is your day, and I'm still using the Blackberry Bliss, but if you wanted to use the Gorgeous Grape or you wanted to use black or whatever, you could do whatever you want. But this is what I'm doing. All right, so I'm using the side of the brush tip because it's easier to color the letters and make sure they're more covered. And I feel like my exclamation point isn't all the way colored. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to huff on this. And then I want this on the bottom of my thing, so I'm going to put it right there and stamp down. So I have my Your Day right there. And that little image you're seeing is because I messed up earlier. That has nothing to do with what I just now did. I had ink on my finger. So you want to make sure your ink's clean. So there's my Celebrate Your Day. And I, on this one, am going to go with Wink of Stella. So this is a brush, kind of like a paintbrush meets a pen marker, and it has a liquid in it that has glitter in it. So I'm going to color my entire icing sparkly because I have to have sparkles. They make me happy. So do you see how it's kind of picking it up and it's nice and sparkly? So I'm going to do this on the entire thing. You can do sections of it if you wanted it to just look like sprinkles, but I want it to look like it's like glittery icing. Now, this part here, because this is a wet brush, see how the ink is spreading there, like I'm coloring with it? And I'm okay with that because I wanted more purple. I didn't want it stark white. If you don't want that, then I suggest that you just like blot the area with your Wink of Stella. Because it's wet, it picks up the ink and it spreads it about. And I want a little bit more up here. Now let's say that up here, I'm not getting as much purple as I did down here because that Blackberry and that Gorgeous Grape are a lot more saturated. So what I could do is that clear block, I'm coloring on the back side of it, and I'm actually going to color with the brush tip directly on my block, like that. And I'm going to pick this up with my Wink of Stella. And you can do this with the aqua painters too. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to color that white part in a little bit more up there. So see how I got a little bit more of the purples in there? So that's another way to add more saturation to your projects. All right, and then you want to like wipe out the brush so if you're painting with yellow next, you don't mess up your yellow with your purple color. Okay, cool. So from there, you're going to take your gingham paper, and like I messed up on the side, I got ink everywhere. Apparently I'm a hot mess today. But that's okay. So I'm going to flip it over because Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper are all two-sided. So it gives you great options on choices for starters, or if you mess up, then you can just start again on the other side, which is what I did on this one. Okay. So I'm going to center it top to bottom and left to right, and I eyeball it, but you can use the grid paper to actually measure it out if you're a person who wants everything precise, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not always how I roll. All right, so I want to pop it up on dimensionals a little. So the dimensionals, some people call them pop dots. Now remember, I messed up on my back side, so I came around here, and what I usually do is I do the top corners and lower, so I do like a 5, all right? If I'm going to keep this for like a lot of samples, or I'm going to send this in the mail and I don't want to get crushed, I would maybe reinforce and do a few more dimensionals on there. They're really pretty cost effective, and you want your project to be, you know, pretty and to look how you want it to look. So then you just peel off the tabs and then stick it down on your project. Okay, the marker club I might talk about on the next video if I run out of time. So there's my card, and then I can stamp a sentiment on the inside. But super duper easy peasy. And then this is one I did using that cupcake set for the Simple Stamping Challenge, where you use just paper, ink, stamps, and then whatever the item is for the month. So January was a punch. And then here's another card I made using this. This is a fun set. You guys should get it. Not just because, you know, I'm a demonstrator, but just because it is so, so, so fun. So my marker club. There's 2 different marker clubs. Each marker club, by the end of it, you will have all 51 markers in the carry case, plus both sets of the in-color markers. The 5-month marker club, you will also get to choose $16.83 in merchandise one of the months, like anything out of the catalogs. If you do my 3-month fast track club, which actually starts today, then you will get to choose $16.83 in free product, plus you will get to choose 3 free celebration items, $50 items, so one a month that you're in the club. Now, the 3-month club is $60.95 a month, and you would give me a credit card to have on hand that would be billed the last day of January, which is today, last day of February, last day of March. If you are in the 5-month club, that cost is $36.57 per month, and it is billed on the 15th of each month starting in February. So it runs from February through June. Now, the 3-month club, the reason why you get all the extra stuff is because it is during celebration the entire time. On the 5-month club, there will be a drawing for one celebration item, and the choices will be more limited because they'll be with what I have on hand. So you do have that option. First come, first serve on the clubs. I need 3 for the first club and 5 people in the second club. You guys have a fantastic day, and let me know if you need a copy of our new catalogs. Like, we have the celebration catalog and the new occasions catalog. And also, I'm going to be posting classes for February and March. Be sure to sign up for them. And let me know what you guys want to see technique-wise. I'm thinking about doing a monthly technique class and also a monthly scrapbook class and a monthly card class, in addition to my monthly paper pumpkin. All right, have a fantastic day.